We don't have many people here. Okay. You got to tell Tom that he has to wait for them to talk. This is Francisco. This is the Crisis Help Radio Show. It's April 13th, 2020. I'm here with my daughter, Kelly. We have about 20 guests. The show is about helping other people through sharing, inspiring, uplifting, see the silver lining, and other comments like that. We're on also Facebook Live and on the radio at WVOX.com, 1460 AM. Our first guest tonight is, where is he? Is Gene DiNapoli. Gene is like a co-host here on this Zoom, and Tom Sullivan, who's in the radio studio, is a co-host there, and Kelly is a co-host right next to me. So Gene is going to share with you a show that he has coming up on the internet on Friday to benefit Visions, and he'll have some other things to say. Gene, unmute all.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. Hi, Fran. Hi, Kelly.
Hi. Yes, I was just making a face.
Good to see you. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Happy Tuesday.
Hi.
Everybody.
Hi.
I see you got some old friends here and some new ones. And first of all, I want to give kudos to Fran and Kelly for doing this twice.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Unmute. You unmuted, Gene. You got to unmute, Gene.
Don't touch it no more. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
So I want to give.
From speaking.
I want to give kudos. I want to give kudos to Fran and Kelly. Everybody, big round of applause.
Right.
Doing this a couple of times a week and giving us a forum to share our stories and share our upcoming uplifting events. And as Fran said, I'm going to be doing something on Friday for a charity called Visions. And they're an organization that gives services free to the blind and the visually impaired. And I am named their 2020 Man of the Year for all the charity work I do for them. We were supposed to have a dinner 2 weeks ago, but that went by the wayside. And being that I'm sitting in my house bored out of my skull, I decided to do a show on Friday on Facebook and Instagram and take dedications and requests, and hopefully people will donate money to that wonderful organization. So unfortunately, my Facebook has been disabled because they said I was a bad boy, but I don't know what I did. So I'm no longer on Facebook as Gene DiNapoli. I'm on Instagram as Gene DiNapoli, and on Facebook under my old restaurant, DiNapoli Stone Mill, of which Caroline and Freddie were two of our most favorite and well-received performers. I love you guys.
Hey, you're old.
Even though Freddie doesn't know how to dress and he's wearing his scrubs right now. But, you know, I had said to Fran a couple of weeks ago that I hope we continue this crisis show after the virus is gone and the ban has been lifted, because it will be lifted. We will go back to normal, and hopefully we can take some of what we do now into that part in advance. So one of our things is doing this every week. It's grown from an hour to an hour and a half. The only way it can grow is if everybody shares it. So if you guys don't mind, if you're not busy Friday night, because you got nowhere to go anyway, join me on Instagram at 8 o'clock or on DiNapoli Stone Mill on Facebook, and we can have a good time. I'll be doing a mixture of Elvis and oldies and gospel and dinner music, and there's no problem if you want to get up in your house and dance and sing along by yourself or with somebody else. That's what we're here to do. Have fun and make this horrible time go by a little quicker. So I want to thank Fran for allowing me the opportunity to promote it. Thanks, Fran.
Thank you, Gene. Gene is some performer. You haven't lived until you see Gene perform.
I don't know if I could share the post.
No,
You
I'll
get-
send it out. Everyone on this screen will get a message from me, and I'll share out that post. And in the meantime, tell them you can't do it right now.
Oh, I think I got it. Watch this. All right, this is Facebook, everybody. If you want to join for Facebook, this is where it goes. And then this is Instagram. Wow, look at this. I'm a genius. Holy crap.
Okay. All right, Gene, we're gonna move on. So
Yeah.
I'll share
You got it.
on the spelling and everything, the link of
Thank
Facebook
you.
and Instagram.
I love you all. I got to go eat dinner. I had a 4-hour rehearsal for that play. Bye, everybody. See you again.
Bye, Gene.
Bye.
See you
I love
Friday.
you all. Thanks,
See you
Fran.
Friday.
Bye. Thanks, Fran. Bye, Kelly.
The first segment is on the theme of love as the most important tool of getting through this crisis. And we're going to introduce that theme through a few songs, a few singers, and a few writers. So leading off will be, actually, Kelly, are you ready to read the lyric? No, I'm sorry. Joyce.
Yes.
Ballin, who is a mandolinist with the Met Opera, and she also is a violinist with the Amore Opera, and is a very accomplished, unbelievable musician. And friend will play O Sole Mio, and she's going to. I'd like you to read the lyric first, Joyce.
Okay.
Those two paragraphs, those two verses.
Right. Well, it's actually one verse. It's the whole thing.
Oh, well,
But, right. I thought Solo Mio is just perfect. And of course, today is a beautiful day after yesterday's windy, rainy day, cloudy. And I hope you got out today. I got to the Rockefeller Estate today and did a walk near the Hudson River. It was beautiful.
that is beautiful there.
Yeah. So, Solo Mio. So, also, if you notice when I play, you're going to hear how the music is very uplifting, this song, and you're going to hear how it actually goes higher and higher and everything to give you this feeling of uplifting. But the lyrics are, "Oh, day of beauty when the sun is shining, the air is calm again, the storm is ending, the scent of flowers with the breeze is blended. Oh, day of beauty when the sun is shining. But there is sunlight that's brighter far than any sunbeam or any star. And you are my sunlight that's brighter far than sun or star." So you get that feeling with the music.
How's it going?
Come here, look. Come here, baby. Come here. Fran, that's me. Caroline's over here. This is the one that's playing the mandolin.
Is Gene part of this?
He was.
Oh, nice. This is really nice. I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit.
You go to bed?
No, I'm just gonna lay down.
Wait. Use Joyce.
Yeah.
Joyce, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. And there was some, I didn't unmute everyone. There was some, crosstalk and stuff. So for just a second, I had you on mute, but otherwise we heard everything. It was really beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And we have two guests with us who are going to sing that song. Oh, you know what? Right before that, hold that thought. Baron Raymond is here with his sax, and he's going to he's going to play. He's going to play the song "Make Someone Happy," and it's in that same vein of love being very important. In that case, the song that Joyce did, it's that love is more. The person is much more important and brighter than even the sun or the stars. And in that same vein, Jimmy Durante did that wonderful song, "Make Someone Happy."
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to, my daughter and I are going to share reading that lyric, and then Baron is going to play it on sax. And then we're going to move to the singing of O Sole Mio by two people, Lorraine Helvig and Freddie Landau. Okay, so, no, I'm sorry. Freddie Landau is going to be singing it. Lorraine is going to be talking about that song and other opera songs. Okay? So here's what this lyric is. It's so, now during this time of crisis, as we're reaching out, we're going to share it, Kelly. As we're reaching out to everyone else, to lots of people, it's very important to single someone out and to express that. I too often spread myself too thin, and I don't really focus enough on the individuals, including my own daughter. But here it is, make someone happy. It's so important to make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. You know, make just one heart-to-heart you sing to. One smile that cheers you, one face that lights when it nears you, one person you're everything to.
Fame, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you found him or her, build your world around him or her.
Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. And you will be happy too. You will be happy too. And then after you make one person happy, make two. Okay, so back to O Sole Mio. Back to Baron playing that song on sax. Now I'm going to unmute you, Baron, so give me a second. I have everyone else on mute.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Fran, I think you'd sound good on this. I kind of hear the Jimmy Durante thing in your voice a little, too.
You want me to sing along?
Well, I'll play. Maybe we could do a recording.
Play. We'll hear it in the...
Okay. Sounds good. So I've been fortunate to be a musician, play all around the world. And one of the things about playing music is that I'm able to make people happy when I play and and when I see people smile when I perform, it's just such a gift, you know. So I'll play the song for you guys. Here we go. One. There you go. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Hopefully it wasn't too loud. I didn't know what the mic volume was. Okay.
It was good.
It was perfect.
Okay, good.
A moment, I want to dial back the radio station. It got disconnected when we plugged in the phone.
No problem.
Hello, Chuck. Hi, it's Fran. Please hold on for a second. I got to put this back on Facebook Live.
I'm on Facebook Live on your name.
On my name?
I'm on your name. This is you. So you don't have to do anything.
Oh, okay.
I'm on it.
You're on my name.
I told you this already.
All
You
right.
keep correcting me.
Double her salary.
Ah, yes, thank you.
Okay.
I do things better than my father thinks
One second,
sometimes.
Kelly. 1 second. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Chuck.
I said just let me know when you're ready to go and I'll put you through.
Put me through so Tom can hear it. Yeah, put me through, and then when you get a call Interrupt me. All right. Okay, great. All right. So, Barrett, thanks so much. Just say some of the people that you've played with.
Oh boy. Well, I played with a lot of people. So yeah, I've done Broadway and a lot of different things. So
Stewart and lots of. Right? Okay. You're fantastic, and thanks so much for playing.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Have a good one, guys.
All right.
Love everybody. Love everybody. Take care.
Are you going?
Yeah, I got to go. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
I really appreciate it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Some guy. All right. Here's another some guy right here is Freddie Landau. Freddie's going to sing O Sole Mio that we heard Joyce Ballant play on the mandolin and also read the lyrics.
Background first.
Here we go. Che bella cosa, una giornata di sole, un'aria serena dopo una tempesta, e l'aria fresca pare già una festa. Che bella cosa, una giornata di sole, manna tu sole, più bellone, o sole mio, in fronte a te, o sole mio, sta in fronte a te, sta in fronte a te.
Wow.
Fabulous.
Wow. That was
Thank you.
fantastic.
Getting a lot of claps. Fabulous.
That was fantastic. Freddie, do you have a personal connection with that song? Because
It's a song, a Neapolitan song that's all the big tenors have done, and a lot of Italians, and I just love doing it because there's so much going on in that song. The singers that sing that song can flutter their vocal cords and it just create all kinds of crazy things. I just love doing it. I love singing that song. There's a lot of songs I love singing, but that one is one of my favorites.
Thanks so much. And we're going to, Freddie sings often locally and elsewhere, along with Caroline Del Giudice. And we're going to be hearing from Caroline in a little while. Right now, you're just going to stay with us, right, Freddie?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Right now, we're going to go to Lorraine Helvig, who I just recently met through one of the other guests, Lee Feldshawn, who is an entertainment attorney who I know through Theater Resources Unlimited. So Lorraine is one of the founders of the New York Dramatic Voices group, and she's an opera singer and helps other people. So this was like an amazing connection to have two opera singers and also have a musician from the Met Opera on the screen at one time, So I'm going to unmute. Let me do this correctly. I'm going to mute you now, Freddie, if you don't mind. And then I'm going to unmute Lorraine.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the show, Lorraine.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Fran, for having us on.
If I can read an introduction about you, all right? Sure. I think for opera singers out there, especially young ones, because let's face it, opera is not, it's beautiful, but it's not popular music. There's not as much appreciation, as wide of an appreciation. So there are probably some amazing young singers out there who have started in opera and they don't see where it may want to go with that. They need more stage work and stuff, and your organization helps them a lot with that. But let me just read that you're an award-winning mezzo-soprano. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to have you and Caroline and Freddie sing sometime along with Gene at one of his shows. You have been hailed as a powerful and compelling. You bring her believability to roles that match your vocal gifts, to such characters as, what is it, Freaky?
Fricka.
You can see my naivete as far as that. And Waltraud from
Valtralta.
You say, what were your characters, and you say them?
Fricka and Valtralta was my first foray into Wagner, and that was this past year, and both from the same opera. I loved it so much. Eboli from Don Carlo, Verdi's Don Carlo, Prezio Silla, La Forza del Destino, also Verdi. I specialize in the dramatic repertoire and the verismo repertoire.
Wow, that's fantastic. And tell us about your organization.
So, along with my mentor, Anthony Latura, who is at the Met for... Everybody knows Anthony.
Oh, I used to do so much with him. He's
Right?
He's listening right now.
No kidding. Oh, man, when I read up about Anthony, I couldn't, right on your website about him, I thought, oh, my God, this guy is so talented. And
he's incredibly talented, and I'm so lucky that our paths crossed. And he's been my mentor, and although he's not a dramatic voice himself, all these dramatic voices ended up in his studio. Me and my friend Adam Herskowitz, and we just, I don't know what happened. So as all other voices went through college and then they went into young artist programs, they can be picked up by agents or other companies and start performing. But then you have dramatic voices who take a little longer, and so they don't get cast in some of the more popular or other popular played Yap operas. I don't know very many Yaps that are doing Wagner. So in order to get us some type of stage presence and stage experience, we formed New York Dramatic Voices, where we learn the music and we put on these scenes in 2 weeks. And every day the singers get an acting and movement class with Anthony. They get personal coaching on the diction and the style of the music. And then at the end, they all put on a public concert that's staged, that they get the recording of and professional photos. So not only do they get the experience, but they also get to round out their portfolio to show managers and agents what they can do and to use for audition materials later on.
Fantastic. And are those recorded?
They are recorded. They're video recorded, and everyone gets a link that they can put on YouTube.
Oh, that's great. And they could take an excerpt of just their section if they wanted to, right? And put it in their read. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow, it sounds amazing. Now, what's the way? Give the website again.
The website is New York Dramatic Voices, and that's spelled out NEWYORK dramaticvoices.com.
Right. And dramatic voices is the term that's used. Is it interchangeably with opera singers, or is it a wider use?
I associate it, I think most people would associate it more with opera singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Now, Freddie had a question. Let me unmute. I'm not too good at finding it.
Just go there and click there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Just go to the person and click that.
Right. Unmute. Sorry.
Easy.
Yes, Freddie.
I just wanted to mention I took 2 or 3 lessons from Anthony Glashura at his house in Jersey.
Wow.
And he said some of the nicest things to me. One of the things he said was, God, I wish you had come to me when you were younger. That was nice. He was a nice guy. Nice guy.
He's an incredible human being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Freddie, you're amazing. And that's amazing that right here, there's so many people. There's a person commenting in on Facebook right now, Facebook Live, Jill Burstein.
Oh, yeah, Jill.
She's commenting on Anthony. How wonderful Anthony is.
Yeah,
the program
wonderful
is.
About Anthony. All right. Well, Anthony, you're listening. Hopefully you're listening to this show. Maybe you are or on a recording. Thanks for having an impact on these people so much and on the world. And I look forward to on Netflix looking up some of the stuff you've been in as well and seeing you as an actor as well. In addition to Robert, Paleo is going to sing that song, Old Sole Mio, but you guys, Robert, you're going to sing it if you can. If you could sing it in two, we're going to skip to two people and then sing it, all right? So I want to just break it up a little bit.
So in two more people, you'll sing.
All right. Hold on one second. Let me unmute. Robert, is it all right if I want to go to two other people who may have to drop soon, and then we'll come back?
And then, okay, absolutely, sure.
Another take on O Sole Mio. We've had the good fortune of having these wonderful singers with us. And I wanted, Susan Muti is on. If you see her, she's in the top row. Joyce is holding up something. What are you holding up?
Picture of me with Anthony. I was out at the May 24th, a year ago.
This is like
wow.
Anthony.
Yeah, I was playing with the Amori Opera, and he came.
Tell Anthony to come on next week, okay?
Yeah.
I'll tell him.
One of the best.
I'm going to mute you now, Joyce. Okay. All right. Back to Susan Muti. Susan is a project manager, an artist. She's one of the left brain, right brain kinds of people that could do basically anything. And she's been very helpful with me, learning Zoom and other things. And we never talked really much about your artistic stuff, right? We talked about Susan developed a template that's very useful during this time where there are categories that you want to try to fill each day, like category on creativity or on cooking or on relationships or on these other areas. And by filling it in, you keep yourself,
occupied, busy,
right?
Thinking of the positive things.
Diversified, it's all good. The momentum on being unstuck.
Now we want to see some of your art and
this is an acrylic on canvas that I had made in a class at the Film Arts Center. And I started out with like a whitewash, and then I dipped string into different colored paints and looped it around and kind of took a paper clip and strung it around, and it looks like ginkgo leaves. So it was a lot of fun, and there's some really great videos online where you can learn the technique.
What is the technique again? What is it called?
You take string and you dip it into acrylic paint, and you loosely put it on your canvas that you've painted, and then you either pull it by the string or pull it by something like a paper clip, and it makes these most beautiful sort of like waves of color. And for me, they kind of represent ginkgo leaves, which is a nice sort of like spring rebirth. And then because I am also thinking flowers, this is a charcoal that I had also done at the Pelham Art Center from a teacher named Sylvia Vigliani, and we fought working in charcoal because it's so messy, but it's so worth it. It's like anything else. If you stick with it, the reward is there.
Yes.
And then if I could, I wanted to share a quote that I heard via a sermon this past Easter, which I think is very universal. It says from Father David Dwight at the Hope Church in Richmond, Virginia. Easter is a message that light comes after the darkness, and hardship almost always leaves gifts behind for those who are looking for them. And I feel like that's sort of the time that we're in. And, we're all kind of staying the course and hanging in there and making our adjustments each day. But that quote in particular really spoke with me, so I wanted to share it with the group.
That is a beautiful quote. Please send that to me, and I'm going to put it up on the website page I have for this show. That's really beautiful. And it's also on that subject of light, light after darkness and seeing a silver lining. And I do feel that this is an extraordinary time that we're going through. I mean, It's probably tragic, but it really is one that could really empower us to make changes for the better in our own lives and in the lives of other people around us. Mm-hmm. I'd like to go now to, and right before, I just want to mention some of the other people that are, we have actors on, we have a filmmaker from Australia on, we have a person who just lost her mother yesterday, and she's on to share with us. Thought that could be very, very empowering. And the number of people are on, all right? And another person who lost a friend just, I think, 3 or 4 days ago, I wanted to share about how to deal with loss and stuff. But now I want to bring on Lee Felshawn, right? Lee, is it pronounced? Now, wait, I'm going to unmute you in a way that is less difficult. You're not trying to do anything, right? Why can't I unmute, Kelly? Why can't I unmute him?
I just unmuted myself. I think you say my name. You say my name better than I do, Fran.
What'd you say?
You say my name better than I do.
What is that? What's the background on that? Is that a East European name or?
Felshawn is Russian Jewish. My mother's side of the family is from Brazil, also Jewish, although raised Catholic, but more spiritual. And my father's side comes from Belarus. Well, Minsk, which is now Belarus.
I'm hearing feedback. I'm hearing.
Okay, let me see what I can do about that.
If you have a phone on, maybe you don't need the phone.
Nope, don't have the phone, but I'll power through it here. Is that better?
All right, let's see.
Better. Yes.
That's
Great.
good.
Sorry about that. Lorraine and I are actually in the same room. We're trying to be as socially distanced for audio purposes as possible, which is hard in a 300 square foot studio, but we're very happy to have it.
Right. Very good. So introduce yourself, and then I'd like to add to that.
Sure, thank you. And I'm very happy to be with all these wonderfully talented people. So as Fran said, my name is Lee Felshawn. I'm an entertainment attorney. I specialize mostly in theater. I represent a lot of writers, producers, directors, choreographers in theater. Do a little bit of film, a tiny bit of TV, music, and intellectual property, copyrights, trademarks, etc. But theater is where my heart is, and theater is where most of my experience is as well. So I represent a lot of shows off-Broadway, off-Broadway, on Broadway as well. And I've just recently started becoming a co-producer. So I'm a co-producer on a Broadway-bound show called Austin's Pride, a new musical of Pride and Prejudice. And it's a really, really wonderful show. It's about Jane Austen. It's not just a retelling of the book. It's about Jane Austen and her struggles as an artist, as a woman, to write this novel, I mean. And then as she writes it, the characters come to life. So it's sort of a nice new adventure for me to actually be out there and helping to co-produce and raise money for the show. And it's a beautiful show.
Wonderful. And I'm going to share your contact information that people can get in touch with you. And
yes, with pleasure.
You're also very active with True, right? Theater Resources Unlimited, and that's how we met.
Yes, I'm very, very lucky that they let me hang around with them and speak on some of their panels and give presentations. And so as I offer to them, I offer to all the participants, people who are listening, I'm happy to offer a free legal consultation regarding any sort of entertainment matter, mostly theater, not so much in terms of music, but I'm happy to hear the questions, talk with you all, and just point you in the right direction, whether it's me or somebody else who can help you. But yeah, I do believe in True. I guess I'm a true believer.
And I want to talk about that. I give a little testimonial. About a year ago, I was involved in a few seminars at True, which is in New York City. It's easy to get to. We're not having physical seminars at this point, but there are lots of Zoom meetings going on. And Lee made that offer during one of the seminars that I participated in. And then later I was involved in a speed date between producers and playwrights. I wrote a play and I was interested in getting some feedback on that. So I called Lee and I was expecting, maybe 15-minute, 20-minute, pretty general kind of thing. I mean, even though he put on a really good presentation, seemed like a really nice person. But he ended up spending, I think it was over an hour with me, and gave me so many wonderful ideas. None of them were boilerplate ideas about how I could protect my writings, my songs that I'm including in the production and stuff, and many other matters. So I highly recommend Lee, and I also highly recommend getting involved in Theater Resources Unlimited. The executive director, Bob Aust, was going to be on tonight, but he was timing was tight. So I guess that's why he wasn't able to, he was going to be on in the first 15 minutes. So we'll, I'm just admitting someone else into the room. So we'll do that another time. All right. So please stay with us if you can, Lee, for the rest of the show. And now we're going to go to, I want to just say hello to PJ Landers, just came in. I just want to say that I have everyone on mute. I think I have everyone on mute. PJ Landers is just in there. He's got a beautiful background and kind of like a beautiful sky in the back. And I can't mute him. Anyway, right now we're going to, hello, Crisis Help Show. Hello.
A bunch of things going on at once.
Kelly, I'm sorry, say it again. Hello. Good, Kelly, how are you? It confused me. Yeah, you're calling at a good time, but I don't know if they could, it's not, let me make this louder. I'm going to, Robert, hold on for another few seconds. This is a guest calling in that wasn't able to come in on Zoom. His name is Kelly Karavidas, and he's been in several of the performances that I've been in. He's been an MC at them. He's an actor, a comedian. I know him from the Brazen Giant Theater Ensemble on McDougal Street. And Kelly's going to say, he had a post up today that he's feeling quite anxious. And then he made a joke about it, but he hasn't been getting much sleep. And many other people may be feeling like that. So anyway, so here's Kelly. Kelly, say hello to everyone. There's 25 people on the screen.
Hey, thank you. Hey, everybody. My name is Kelly Karavidas from New York City, and it's a pleasure to be on your show, Fran. Thank you very much.
You're going to have to speak a little louder. I'm sorry. You have to go louder.
Can you hear me now?
A little better.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, it's a pleasure to be on your show. I'm going to be funny tonight, but I think I want to be a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
I mentioned the anxiety that everybody's feeling. I think if somebody tells you they're not feeling anxious, they should see a neurologist, because this is a very serious challenge for everybody. And the way I'm coping is I'm rediscovering passions that I used to have. Like, for instance, finishing a painting that I had on my easel for the last several years, my little project. And I'm doing little projects around the house. I'm going on walks. I'm calling and checking on friends. All I can say is that everybody has to realize that the circadian rhythm that we all have has been interrupted by this challenge of staying, inside. And I want to encourage everybody to take a deep breath and reestablish new rhythm for the current situation. And eventually, we're going to get back to our former lives. When that's going to be, I don't know. But that's what I'm doing.
Actually, thank you very much, Kelly. I think you started it, and then when you just said get back to our former lives, our former lives have been wonderful and joyous and finally looked upon. But I think we're going back to better lives. And they may be with less material wealth. They may be with some fewer people, but it will be, I think, if we put our minds to it, an opportunity to improve ourselves and improve others around us and be more loving.
And an important change.
So, Kelly, and now, right now, you moved out of your apartment in New York City because the men hadn't finished the work that you were doing in it, and you're staying with your sister, is it, and family?
Yeah, I'm staying at my mother's house. I have a nice house here in Queens. I'm in a very good situation, but yeah, you are correct. I had a very big renovation of my Manhattan apartment, which was 2/3 of the way done before the governor pulled the plug on it because the construction workers couldn't work
Right.
lighting, everything. So, I got upset about that, but in retrospect, it's not important. It's an inanimate object. It's going to be finished when it's going to be finished. But the bigger picture, I like what you said, not just our former lives, but this is an opportunity. I want to remind everybody that when a little granule of sand goes into an oyster and the oyster closes, a couple months later you have a pearl. So right now we're all irritated, we're all upset, and we have to understand. I don't want to be a Pollyanna because 5
Right.
years from now I might be crying.
Right. No, but
but the thing is, I'm actually optimistic that this interruption that we're having might really make people realize who the hell they really are.
yeah.
I agree.
Very good. Kelly, we're going to run. That's excellent. Thank you so much for that positivity. And
Thank you for coming on, Kelly, from one Kelly to another.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. That was Kelly Karavitas.
It's time for
I know
Robert
the volume wasn't loud enough. I don't know why that was. But it's time for Robert Palaio. We're going back to O Sole Mio. And this is on
Can't get enough of O Sole Mio.
This is on the theme, got to call him back, of love, right? And love being something we can turn to. So if we're feeling down, and it's not only a romantic love, it's all love. And here's an example. My cousin Donna called me up today to see how I was doing. The last time I physically saw
I haven't
Donna
seen her in years, right?
I think Donna was at your father's funeral, right? Where I came down to Florida and went and attended your funeral. So I was thinking of you the other day, but I hadn't picked up the phone and called you. So it was like a lesson for me to call my other cousins, So this is a time when we can connect more with others. I'm going to call back the radio station to get them on. I was disconnected for some reason. Okay, and Robert's been so patient, and I got. All right, thanks. It's Fran again, back. Okay, I don't know. I
called on the office line.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll call back.
No.
I called on the office line.
Yeah, I didn't notice you didn't have your number. 110.
I don't know. Maybe this is fun for them to watch all these mistakes.
Well, let's not think of them as mistakes.
Okay.
Let's think of them as something more positive, something better than mistakes. They're not mistakes. They're glitches or something.
I want to. Hi, it's Fran. I'm back on. Okay. 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 All right, Tom. We're here.
Here we go.
Okay.
With Robert. Unmute him.
Robert Palaio. He on our second show. He came on and he sang the Star Spangled Banner better than I've ever heard that sung. And so now we're giving an opportunity for him. You heard Freddie Landau singing it so beautifully. We'll
have a different version of it.
Maybe just another take, another voice. And to reinforce that, and along with Joyce's playing of it on. All right, Robert, I'm going to unmute you. You're on the piano, right?
Yes.
And, if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Robert Palaio. I'm a tenor. I've been singing since I'm a child. As a child, I did some opera roles like Amal and the Night Visitors with its composer John Carlo directing me. I sang some featured roles at New York City Opera, and then since my voice changed, I've sung some opera, oratorio. I'm a composer, an educator, and just love music. And I do think that music certainly for me is getting me through all this. So music is a healing agent. So,
Robert, I just got a message. I just got a message from PJ, who's on the call here. Is there a way that you could show the piano as well as you? If you turn you're on your phone, right?
I don't know if I can.
If not, don't worry about it. anyway.
It'll be a hard thing to do without taking up a lot of time.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. So,
Okay. Are we ready for O Sole Mio?
O Sole Mio.
O Sole Mio. Che bella cosa, una giornata sole, l'aria serena dopo la tempesta, per l'aria fresca, pareggian la testa. Che bella cosa la giornata sole, mannato sole, più bello è me, o sole mio, stai davanti a te. O sole mio, stai pronti a te, stai pronti a te. Amato sole, più bello è me. O sole mio, sta pronti a te. O sole mio, sta pronti a te. Sta pronti a te.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Everyone's clapping. It would be like a resounding, you would hear a resounding clap with that. Thank you all. I just got to share this quick story about O Sole Mio. When my father was when he was getting really near the end, I asked him, what can I do for you?
Yep.
And he said, I would like to sing Ave Maria from the balcony at the Church of Our Lady of Victory in Mount Vernon. He was not a professional singer, but he loved singing. That was one of his favorite songs. And so I arranged for some musicians to come, another singer, Anthony Valbiro, to lead him through the song, help him through the song. And that night, they were here in the house. One second. They were here in the house, and my father was mum because he had dementia and Alzheimer's, and for that night, he just wasn't doing it. We were about to leave. They were about to leave after about a half an hour. And just then, out of nowhere, I hear, "O Sole Mio."
From Grandpa.
So I heard my father sing that, and it gave him and me and everyone else the gumption, the enthusiasm and persistence to go to the church, and he did do it.
And I want to say the power of music. My grandfather in the house couldn't even walk like one step. But when he got to the church, we were outside, and the aide brought him up, and Dad said, "Where is Grandpa?" I said, he's already upstairs. I said, he got up all those steps so fast. He couldn't even do one step in the house. But knowing that he was going to sing to the church, he had all the power in him to go all the way up those stairs in like 2 minutes. He blew up those stairs, and otherwise he wouldn't have been able to do that. But the power of music helped him to get up those steps and perform.
The power of music. And we have...
And that was his dying wish to do that.
And we have a recording of that. You know, not him going up the steps, but we have a recording
of him singing. And it's on YouTube, actually.
Yeah, it was great. I want to break it up a little bit. You got that, Kelly? Why don't you get your own phone, too?
It's not loading.
I want to introduce somebody that's from another country. So I want to introduce Brendan Young. And let me unmute you, Brendan, and let me mute Robert. Robert, thank you so much. Thank you very
beautiful.
much. And everyone who participated in that.
Pops all around.
In the Sole Mio segment. So Brenda and I met at a film festival in Las Vegas, right? Or was it the one in New York?
No, well, you met Peter Gonzalez Facon, who's here with us today.
That's right.
And Peter represented me. He flew from LA to be at the Venice International Italian Film Festival run by our mutual friend Caterina Miccio. And Peter came on my behalf, and he met you, of course. And you two have become very good friends. But I did meet you finally in New York in October when I came to the Cutting Room International Film Festival.
Yes, absolutely.
Which was a delight, actually.
And then you came on my radio show too with and Tom Sullivan and my daughter, and then we videotaped, and I tried to put it together as best as possible. Peter, just say hello to Brendan.
Well, of course. Hello, Brendan. You look great.
Peter, great to see you.
Well,
I hear your voice.
Brendan.
Yeah. You got a great studio there.
Oh, yeah, this is where I am. I mean, like, we're all in our spaces. And I guess the whole shutdown, lockdown, I'm here in Melbourne, Australia, so I'm actually talking to you from the future. It's actually tomorrow at 10:04 a.m. in the morning. So the future is a little brighter. I mean, the sunlight's out. And I'm here every day. And ironically, isolation, for me, I'm with my beautiful partner, Catherine. So having someone with you makes a huge difference.
Is she close is she close to you physically now, Brendan?
She's downstairs. I'd love to introduce her because she's an amazing performer, herself.
I would like to sing Solo Mio too. Catherine sings music in Australia.
I saw musicals. She wrote the music for most of your film. I want to mention this film called The Widow. This is an extraordinary. How long is that film?
Well, I made it as a 30-minute proof of concept because I want to make. Well, I'm currently. It's a long short film, if you will. And this is the one that's been touring around the world and so forth. Yeah.
Right.
But what I'm doing right now, related to The Widow, is writing the mini-series format version of it. So I'm in the middle of that right now. That's what I'm writing right here.
Hold on. Peter, I'm sorry. Brendan, tell us a little, it's a black and white film, gorgeously acted. There's so many wonderful, I loved it. And I think I saw it twice.
You did, yeah.
Called The Widow. I'll send information out on the email that I send out with everyone's information. And I'll send out the website and stuff. If I was a little bit further along with understanding Zoom, we would be able, or on another show, we'll be able to bring up a clip of it right away.
No, it's fine. It's not important.
It's an Italian film, right? I mean, Italian film, and it focuses on a group of gangsters like the mafia, and this very strong-willed woman, and what her challenges are, and how she persists and gets through. It's a remarkable film. It's called The Widow. And how is it in Melbourne? Are you in lockdown? Are you in lockdown?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we are. We've been in lockdown since probably around about the sort of 15th of March. Our government, nationally, our government, every state, every city has gone into lockdown. Various stages of lockdown. I mean, in Melbourne, where I'm in, it's pretty much, it's the same as, I've got friends in New York, and it's the same thing. You can only go to the grocery store. You can only do exercise, essential journeys only. But having said that, what's been remarkable for us down here is that we only have, it's only, but I mean, it's out of a population of 25 million, we have only 6,000 infections, and regrettably, but we only have about 62 deaths. But we're trying to literally, like everyone is, trying to kind of like stay the course. And our government thinks that we're kind of getting there. Definitely our lockdown is for another 4 weeks without even, changing a thing. But then it'll be reviewed. The at the end of April, going into May. I'm sorry, end of May. Sorry. So yeah, so it's been effective, but it's like everyone, we're all globally, we're all having the same existence
right now. And Brendan, I know you come a long way to be on this this Zoom with us, but we have a lot of people, and
I know you do. Yeah.
We're going to go to the next, but
I want to say hi to someone.
We're going to get together soon.
I got to say hi to someone.
Sure.
They came out and they came back in. I got to say hi to my friend Ricky. Let Ricky say something. He's been sitting there a while, and he came out. He almost went to another church Zoom, but he came back. Hi, Ricky. Are you there?
He's not hearing us.
Can you not hear us, Ricky?
Kill you shouting. Okay, next we're going to come back to Ricky and your other friends that came in. Thanks very much, Brendan, for being on. I want to go to. We've been talking very uplifting and everything like that. All right.
Are you unmuted, Ricky?
No, not now, Kelly. I want to go to Susan. Susan, did you raise your hand, Susan?
I was waving.
Oh, you were waving. Okay, all right. Okay, I'd like to go to, we'll go to Ricky after Ruth, but Ruth, I saw on Facebook, I just want to introduce you, Ruth Rocky. I saw on Facebook that she shared with other members of the Brazen Giant Ensemble. What's going on?
No, it stopped. Connection in this house is terrible.
Okay. All right. Sorry for these continual interruptions. But I met Ruth Rocky at Brazen Giant Ensemble probably a year and a half ago. And Brazen Giant Ensemble is a group of actors, producers, directors, writers, all kinds of people who help each other out. There's about 25 of us in that group, and it's led by Christian Kyber and Bill Sorvino. And it's a wonderful giving group, and Ruth has been in that group, and I didn't realize that some of the times that she wasn't attending, it was really because she was taking care of her mom. And her mom had dementia and Alzheimer's. And so then I would see her, and she's got such an upbeat personality, and she didn't really share or trouble anybody with the problems that she was having with her mother, as many of us have parents who are sick and dying. And so when I saw a posting yesterday, the day before, that her mother had died, I felt really badly, but I felt, well, I'll reach out to her in a few days. And then today, I said, no, I should reach out to her now, and not only say that I feel badly, but give her an opportunity to share that grief with others, and maybe it would make her feel better. I know it makes me feel better to be as fully expressed as possible. So I called her, not realizing that she had already sent me an email in the morning asking me if she can come on the show. So when I asked her, it was somewhat redundant. So we talked for a while, and I'm going to let Ruth share about her mom and whatever else comes up. Ruth, are you all right?
Okay.
Can you share with us?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. And I just want to say, the amazing talent on this group is amazing. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
We hear you. Guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
So I just want to say, I'm amazed by the talent on here. So I feel like just saying, well, I'm just this schmuck from New Jersey. But I lost my mom on Easter. It was sudden, and she had Alzheimer's and dementia. It was very sudden. She had a heart attack. But I wanted to come here and share that with you because we can't have a wake. Tomorrow it's me and my brother. Only one person can go to the grave. And I do want to share that grief, but like Fran said, this show's about love. So I wanted to be happy and positive. And my mom was full of life, and she joked around. So I kind of want to tell you something funny. She had Alzheimer's, and I can tell you a funny memory. One time I was home, and I said I was getting her ice cream, and she said, "Oh, don't you want some for yourself?" And I said, "I have no desire." And she said, "Not even sexual?" I said, "What?" This is coming from my my 78-year-old mother, but she always said funny things like that. And that's what's helping me through. And I'm trying to remember the positive things about her to get through this. Because I'm by myself. Like, I'm going to see my brother tomorrow. But if anyone else is going through this, I just want to let them know that they're not alone, And there's so many wonderful things in life to be grateful for. And that I'd rather remember her with a happy heart, and light and laughter.
Did you tell me you saw a little white flower yesterday?
Yes. And yesterday, like after she died, remember we had that big rainstorm? And my friend even said, because she died on Easter, and I'm Catholic, and that Jesus rose from the dead. And my friend said, look at your mother trying to one-up Jesus. Anyway, I saw a white flower and all that storm just like hanging on. And I feel like I know that was her, telling me she was okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I told you I got a sign from my mother when she passed. Do
yeah.
you want to share that poem that I shared with you?
Yeah.
Can you?
And Fran sent me a poem, and don't mind me because I have to look at the computer to read it. But Fran sent it to me, and I think it's a beautiful poem, and it kind of embraces my mom's personality because she was so full of love and light and joking with everyone. And that's how I want to remember her. And it's a really good poem that Fran sent me. And if you guys don't mind, I'd like to read it.
And I just want to mention that it's written by John, what's the name that's on it?
Henry Scott Holland.
Scott Holland. And it was written about more than 100 years ago. And it's from the perspective of the person who died. So it's actually your mom speaking to you and to us. Okay.
Right. Okay. So it's called Death is Nothing at All. Death is nothing at all. I've only slipped away into the next room. I am I and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the easy way you always used. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we always enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effort, without the ghost of a shadow in it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute unbroken continuity. What is death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind? Because I'm out of sight. Sorry. I am waiting for you for an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well. That's it.
Well, there's one more line on it.
Oh, it is? I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Nothing is.
Just read the last line, though.
Okay. How we shall laugh at the trouble of parting when we meet again.
That's beautiful.
That's like an amazing part. I read that at my mother's funeral, and then at about 7 wakes and funerals after that. And thank you for allowing me to read it to you today. And
thank you for sending it to me, because I'm going to read it tomorrow. It's only me and my brother at the funeral parlor, and then only one person at the grave. But I want to read this poem tomorrow. So thank you, Fran.
Thank you so much, Ruth, and thanks for coming on. My daughter's going to sing a song, but not right this moment because we have some other, and I'm afraid other people.
Gotta get to everyone first.
I want to also, in that same vein of sharing about people who died and that they remain with us and stuff. There's a friend of mine, Pat DeBono, who's on right now, and I'd like him to share about the loss of a friend of his who was a neighbor in the building in which he lives. Pat in the past in past shows he's come on, he's shown us some meditation techniques, especially tapping, and he's done a lot of meditation over the years, and yet maybe because of that you're handling her loss well, but there's some things you want to share about that, maybe, for us, to help us understand loss and adjust to people who are sick and may die. Sorry, Pat, you must have muted yourself.
Can't hear you, Pat.
Wait, can't hear. Can't hear you, Pat. Can't hear. Send him a message. Send him a message.
Can't hear, Pat.
Can't hear me?
Now I can hear you, but low. Turn it louder.
Well, I'll just hold the microphone. I don't know, why that is.
I don't know.
Something must have happened. It was working before. Okay, I really was prepared to share on a business subject, so this is kind of, I didn't really give this any thought.
What was
my friend who's my favorite neighbor, someone who I really enjoyed her company. She was a New York City school teacher, and very smart woman, and she was very interesting. I have to say that I enjoyed her company, immensely being with her, and she always had interesting things to say. Of course, she was a speed reader as an English teacher. She read 2 to 3 books a week, minimum. She knew a lot. And, very sadly, she passed away with the coronavirus, and at 47 years old. And it was, very sad. Oh, you get emotional.
I'm sorry, Pat, to trigger that, maybe to put you in that position of sharing that and it being emotional for you.
Well,
but
I just like to, I like to wrap up, by just saying that it was a real loss, and I just wish that she was still with us. She left a 19-year-old daughter, who's obviously, doesn't know. One day her life was, normal, and 5 days later, mother stopped breathing with this. Thought she had a cold, and was nothing more than that. And then that's what happened. Anyway, thank you for letting me share on it.
And then,
you're welcome.
Pat, can you share about the business topic that you were going to share about also?
Not right now. Okay. If you want to come back to me if there's time. If not, I need to recover from this a little bit.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing about that. Okay. I'm going to go to Ann Bella right now. Ann, hi. I'm going to unmute you. And Ann is a ex-school teacher. She's talked about that on prior shows. She's also an artist and a writer. And I think I had asked you to maybe prepare a very short poem for today. And maybe you say whatever you would like.
Yes. Hello, everybody. One thing that's been helping me cope and get through is writing in my journal every morning. Sometimes it comes out like poetry. Sometimes it just comes out like stream of consciousness. And I just have a little something to share with you, some thoughts for today. Quiet moments and deep thoughts, meditation, going deeper and deeper within, focusing on my breath, inhaling hope, exhaling fear, allowing myself to feel the flood of emotions that come daily, hourly, minute to minute, gently, invalidation. Listening to the voice of my brave inner child as she reminds me that even in uncertainty, I can still sing, dance, I can still paint and write poetry and ponder the longings of my heart, a heart that truly loves. And when we were scared of the dark, that there is always light in the morning and the promise of a brand new day. Beautiful. So that was just my journal and my thoughts for today.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. And how are your children? They're doing all right with this? With everything?
Thank you.
Thank you. My children are doing okay, and I feel as their parent and a role model, I feel it's my responsibility to show them exactly how I'm feeling authentically and how I'm coping with it. And I just wanted to share with everyone what I do is I journal, but I keep like a little art journal.
Pretty.
And this is just the way I just cut out little sayings. It says, just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. Just little tiny things that I do to cope, and I'm glad that my children see that I'm doing these things and that it's healthy. So that's what I've been doing.
That's a very important point, is to, when you're stuck or feeling stuck,
Find something
is to do something creative and then
helps
share
me
it,
very much.
That's really amazing. I'd like to bring in my cousin Donna Felice. I'm going to unmute Donna. Thank you very much. And Donna, if you maybe can get a little closer. Is John? I don't see John.
Yes, John's there.
Yes, Donna. Donna's father, his name is John, and he was my mother's brother, younger brother. And her father was also my godfather, and is amazing man. And I have such fond memories of going back and reconnecting with him and playing golf with him every Wednesday for a couple of years. John, my Uncle John, also called Dick, my Uncle Dick, would play with my father, my mother's other brother, his older brother, Lou, and myself. The foursome, I was the worst player of the four, and they were very, very, especially John, was an amazing golfer, and he was so helpful and never condescending or anything, and just so supportive. Wonderful man. And then Donna has two sisters, and then I last saw her. I mean, we've talked since then, but I last saw her. How long is it that your father has passed away?
Well, I'm 59 now, and he died when I was 50. On my 50th birthday.
Oh, on your 50th.
When we were at his funeral. Yeah.
Wow. So how are you doing now in this crisis? How are you and your kids and John doing?
Well, it's tough. We're making it.
Are there people
it's
lockdown in your area?
I'm sorry?
Are you in lockdown? Is your area?
Yes. Yes, we all have to wear masks when we leave the house, and gloves, and have to remain at 6 feet away, and not everybody follows the rules. And
right. What are your biggest challenges now during this time, Donna, if you could share that with us, and how you're coping with it? Well, what's the silver lining that way in what's happening? Do you see, is there a silver lining in it for you?
Well, I believe everything does happen for a reason. That reason is he has a better reason for it. There is a reason for it, and we can't judge what his purpose was for all this. But I believe that it is to make us stronger, and for us to be risen above all this bad times, and we are going to be stronger and rise above this. And I think it's maybe possibly to bring us closer together. Maybe he feels that life has gotten so fast paced that maybe people need to slow down and smell the roses, and don't take things for granted. And thank God we have the technology to be able to still connect like this. But I believe maybe the global warming. I mean, there's been some. I think he's just trying to make us slow down a little.
That's
And
a very good point. You know, some believe that God has a hand in it. Some others believe that there's a detached God. But whatever it might be, I think everything you expressed is very valid, that this is a time for us to realign and reevaluate what's important. And
other people in your lives.
And other people.
The people in your lives. It's people. It's not what the money brings us. It's the people in our lives. It's the love. And it's bringing us connected.
We have a minute to go.
Oh, okay. Hold 1 second, Donna. Okay.
The radio show is actually ending. We can stay on Zoom, but the radio show is ending.
And that really didn't work out that well. I mean, I'm glad that Tom Sullivan was there, but it's too challenging.
We're trying to do all this at once, and we're doing the best we can.
Does John want to say anything? John, do you want to say anything?
Go ahead.
I think that everything's going to work out well, and we're all going to be fine. Just got to keep hope alive.
Very good.
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith.
And this is to bring us closer together and to rely on each other more, and it'll all work out in the end.
It's so important to have a positive attitude. And however it works out, sometimes it could work out not that great, but it works out. You know,
somehow we get through it. Somehow.
All right. I'd like to. Peter and I are going to do a scene, not at the moment, but very soon. Peter and I know people are staying on later, but if you could still stay with it, there are a couple of guests that haven't even spoken yet, and Samantha Spillane is a new friend of mine. I'm going to unmute Samantha, and Samantha is a friend through Simone K. I thought Simone was coming on the show tonight, but I guess not. No, she's coming on tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think. And
that's what she said.
Right. And Samantha is...
Tell everyone about what tomorrow is if they don't know.
Tomorrow there's a show at 12 o'clock noon, and it's going to 1:30.
Not on the radio, just on Zoom, 12 noon to 1:30. You send the link out, and you can join tomorrow again.
Samantha is a writer as well, and has written a short story that's being part of a compilation. I would think around 4 or so short stories.
Well, that was part of a contest.
That was part of a contest.
And that's it won 3rd place. It would have won 2nd place, but I got voted out by my own vote.
She voted. Samantha
I voted for the one who was like 2nd place, so it knocked me down 1.
So tell us what the story is about, and maybe you could read an excerpt from it.
And also, I'm really bad at reading.
I'd like to add that Samantha is a transgender activist or advocate.
Well, I used to run a support group over in Northeast PA, but now I've been promoted up to head of trans services for Triversity.
And Triversity is an LGBT organization in Milford, Pennsylvania.
Yes. And I'm still running things as far as support group goes right now. Okay. And I'm running it online. I'm not going to, because people need the support group right now. There's a lot of trans people in serious situations where they're not working because, they work in the drag industry or something like that, and they're out of work right now. So there's a lot of pressure on the community.
And on that community also has a lot of separation, right?
Yes, between families and stuff like that.
Their parents or their relatives and stuff like that. Now, in your case, you're with your children and you're with your wife, right? Which is admirable and great and helps through crisis like this. So that's great.
Well, I got to say in the beginning, I fell apart. And 3 years to now, I'm still in the same situation, but I changed the way I thought about it. And that's the thing. The situation hasn't changed. I just changed the way I thought about the situation instead. And things get better. It depends on what stories you're telling yourself.
Give an example. Like, how did you feel and how do you feel?
Well, I thought the relationship was going to be over, but it didn't go that way. You kind of tell yourself stories when you're in that dark place. And those stories, most of the time, aren't real. And when you start looking at things more realistically, you can usually change the way things are.
Yeah, and and Pat DeBono made that point last week, is that we could change just through our thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Actually change from being sad to being happy or not sad.
Yeah, plus you learn to control what you can control. I mean, we can't control this virus, but we can control our own behaviors. We can control what we do. We can go and reevaluate our lives, because I know many of us are in a bad situation right now because, you're out of work and stuff. But now you have time right now where you could reevaluate your life, maybe look at your passion. Maybe there's a way to make money with that passion, and when this thing starts coming to an end, you can, transform or into another field that's more to what your soul is, your muse.
Right.
So I think that's more important. I mean, I'm a writer. I've done some movies. Right now I'm working on relearning how to play guitar, because I, as I told you, I was a professional wrestler for 25 years. So I took a lot of blows to the head, and a lot of things that I used to know, I don't know anymore. So I'm actually relearning guitar from scratch.
This is quite a background, Well,
people said I'm a jack of all trades.
Where were you a professional wrestler?
I was a professional wrestler all over the tri-state area, East Coast, ECPW wrestling.
So like the WWF?
I never got up to there. I didn't.
No,
bother
I'm saying
with
like that.
Yes, absolutely. I've held titles too, and I've been a main event wrestler. I've wrestled legends, superstars. I was Lord Cult, Master of the Army of Darkness. I did that for like 25 years.
And then when did you give it up, or when did you retire from that?
I retired because I got sick. I got autoimmune disease 20 years ago, and I'm still here, even though it should have killed me by now. But I'm still going.
Living on borrowed time, right? Like
I'm stealing the time. I'm not giving it up.
Borrowing it, stealing. Right.
I know you.
I'd like to request that she comes back and tells us about the wrestling. I would love to hear about that.
I could tell you about them all. I wrestled Jimmy Snuka and Tito Santana, Bruce Beefcake, a whole bunch of people.
You have some video of that?
You can look on YouTube for Lord Cult, ECPW Wrestling, and you'll see some stuff. But
okay, amazing.
I don't look the same, so.
Okay, I'm gonna put that. I bet you don't. I'm gonna put that Because send me that link, just to remind me.
Okay.
And
I mean, they're all over. I see new matches every once in a while, because I actually don't remember wrestling some of those matches. You get hit so hard in the head, you forget.
True. So you've made big adjustment from that life as a man to this life now.
That kind of led to here.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's very common for trans people to, once they get out of high school, maybe to go into the military or some sort of masculine role. And I did try to go become a Navy SEAL, but I never got past the recruiter because I got a damaged spinal cord and I only have one eye. So they're like, we would love to take you and sign you up, but we can't use you. So I did the next stupidest thing I could do and became a professional wrestler.
Right. It's somewhat ironic that many trans women like you and I lived very masculine lives, sometimes as a way to try to prove ourselves as men.
Exactly.
And really never had those.
It's our way of denying that we are this crazy person. Because I mean, we were crazy all the way up till 2013 when they changed it in the DSM-5.
Yes.
To that gender identity disorder just disappeared at that point.
All right, now Samantha, do you want me to read a paragraph or two from the story?
If you wish. I mean, like I said, that was a concept piece. I never actually finished it. I had to turn it in 3 hours.
Okay. This is the story telling the reader that somebody is writing the story, right? Is that what you're
talking about? Yeah, well, the reader is reading the story, and it's about them.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it.
And it's a horror flick, so if you don't want to listen, don't listen.
Thanks for. Oh, okay. Thanks for sending it to me, but I didn't have a chance to read it.
That's okay.
But It's called it's called Conversation. Fine, I'll participate in the show story challenge, regardless of whether I do or don't. You have already started reading. You know, I'm saying this to you, the reader, right? One may think the writer is authoring this tale. They aren't. We are your story. Yes, your actual life. What actually is taking place this very moment, word by word, and idea after idea. Is this the never-ending story? No, you don't get to exist in a fantasy world. You are not the hero. You never have been. You've been and always will be a puppet. Here's your story. Kelly, please don't interrupt me during it. Here's your story. You continue reading at your own risk. You cannot escape it even if you quit reading. I win. So it's really like maybe a little temperamental. I don't know if I...
It's sort of like talking to the devil about yourself.
Yeah, right, right.
And in the end, you find out who the devil is.
Is yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, it's those stories again that we tell about ourselves. You know, I'm a lousy guitarist. I can't write. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know. Right. You know. In the end, it's you who are preventing you from living your best life.
Very good. Well, thank you, Samantha.
You're welcome.
You for sharing all that with us. Very enlightening. And I'd like you to come back and maybe read more of it or talk more about your writing, and also specifically about some of the challenges that the trans community is facing.
Yeah, and I'm working on a book right now about three trans women.
Okay.
I'm going to be one of the stories in there. It's going to tell you about my life.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to go bounce around here. Lee, you have I'm going to 1 second. Oh, all right, great. Dave, Lee.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to say what a pleasure it was meeting you all. I have to jump off to deal with some family health issues at my mother's nursing home.
Okay.
Some challenges there. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry to have to leave the party before its end.
Longer.
You all take care. I look forward to everyone stay safe, stay creative, be positive. All right. Many blessings.
Lee, and share your information so people can call you if they want to.
Thank you. All right. Keep the faith, everybody. All right. Bye.
Staying up.
My pleasure.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Fran, I'm going to have to go too.
Bye, Joyce.
All right, Joyce.
Okay, everybody, it was really great, but really getting to meet you too. Hope to see you again. And
have you.
I'll keep tuning up.
Thank you. We've got.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here. Thank you so much.
We're going to have 2 minutes each person, and we're going to end with Peter and I doing a scene. It's a funny scene, so please stick around with it. All right. All right. I want to go to Sam Berlin. I spoke to last night, and Sam is a projectionist, a wonderful editor. I know Sam through, he has helped me out with a couple of my films, my short films. So Sam, this is new to you, right? Well, you did this out of Seder, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've worked, we had Passover Seder the second night at my wife's girlfriend's synagogue in New Rochelle, in Queens. And so they had a cantor, a rabbi, and everybody, and they were all reading passages from the Haggadah. And it was interesting. I've never done that before. And it's the second time on Zoom. So if you can see in the background, I put a virtual background.
Yes.
I'm an illustrator, muralist, cartoonist, caricature artist. Besides being a motion picture operator, video editor, and I work on film festivals. I met Fran at the Cutting Room because I'm their technical director and projectionist and editor for that. And I also just finished the Queens World Film Festival because that ended up on internet streaming the whole festival, and I helped re-edit all the films together into blocks so we can show them.
Wow.
And so it's been crazy.
Can you hold up a photo of that group shot, that cartoonish shot that I saw last time? You have that you might be able to show us that?
Let me see.
I meant to print that out.
Put it in the background. Hold on a second here.
I don't know if you'd be able to do that, but
Ooh, cool.
we're gonna go. Oh, isn't that cool? Maybe just move out of the way a little bit so we
Oh,
can.
that is
Is that cool? That's Sam's work.
wow. That is really.
You know,
I
one
find
of
that
his. I mean,
impressive.
one of his things. He's an
Oh, I can make
unbelievable
all the
person.
celebrities.
You know,
I could
Sam,
actually-
I'm so afraid. I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to cut you there, all right? At 2.
Okay.
I want to go to Caroline, and I want Caroline's going to sing a song, and then if Peter doesn't mind, we're going to close with that. Kelly's going to sing "You Are My Sunshine," and then we're going to close with the. So, thanks, Sam, for being.
Okay.
But if you can stay with the rest, it's only a few more minutes. Caroline, I'm going to unmute you.
Okay.
You are an amazing singer. I saw you sing with Freddie Longo, who sang O Sole Mio earlier. You are just so amazing. When I walked in to Marina del Calabria one evening, you sang Aldila, which was always being played in my house, by my father, and mother.
It's like one of the Italian theme songs. Whenever I introduce that I'm going to sing that, everybody just goes, like, that's it.
For us non-Italian, or those that are not Italian, could you just share with us the meaning of,
I'm just looking it up. I'm not the best one to interpret Italian. Italian is pretty rusty. Freddie could do that better, but what I gathered online today, different terms that I was seeing was beyond, the next life,
right,
the afterlife.
Right.
And if you listen to the song and get into the emotion of the song, you can almost understand what those words are saying.
Right.
Just reaching for something up there, something out there, rather, So when I was asked to join you this evening, you asked me to do that, and I'll be happy to do that.
And many of our parents and grandparents and everything are going to be right here with us.
It's a staple. That's right. That's right. Just to share a little bit, as I explained to you a little bit today without getting too crazy. I lost my dad about 3 weeks ago. And the worst part about this whole thing was he was in a nursing home. I couldn't see him. So we did FaceTime and we did speak on the phone, but it's not the same. So when he passed, I was unable to see him, and I was unable to see him at the funeral director's home. He wouldn't let me. But I have him in here for now. He's a proud Korean War veteran, and I have to say he wore his dog tags his whole life, and I have them with me now. So when I can schedule a military honors funeral, that's how he's going to go, because he wanted his flag. He just loved this country so much. And it's like no closure yet. But he's here right now with me.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. So I was going to do this with music, but I'm afraid how it's going to translate coming across there.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it a cappella.
It would be great.
And see how it goes.
That would be great.
Okay. La 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 la. Al di là del bene più prezioso ci sei tu, al di là del sogno più ambizioso ci sei tu, al di là delle cose più belle, al di là delle stelle, ci sei tu, al di là Ci sei tu per me, soltanto per me. Al di là means you're far above me, very far. Every star will light the way above me to where you are. Just to measure your worth, I'd move heaven and earth to be near you. You're my life, you're my love, you're my own, I'll be loved. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Al di là delle volte infinita, al di là delle vita, ci sei tu, al di là, ci sei tu per me, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Happy New Year.
Wow. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Hold that for a second. That was amazing. And I'm sure it's brought up some memories for many people. I want to share with you a quick photo.
Photo of Grandma and Grandpa on their what anniversary?
25th anniversary.
25th anniversary. Look at them there.
These are my parents.
Yes, they're beautiful.
Well,
Very handsome
Paul
couple.
Eleanor Cisco.
And Eleanor, Ellie, they called her. And they were always laughing, partying.
And Grandpa was always singing all the Italian songs.
And that song brought all that back. And
Oh, good. I'm glad.
best wishes for you and strength for you as you cope with the loss of your dad. And he'll be with you.
For a while. I
Right.
can't do anything yet. It's unbelievable. But as long as he gets his flag, we spoke about that today.
Good, yes.
The one thing he said, make sure you get me my flag.
My father was a Seaman
great honor.
in the Navy, you know, and he had when he died over at, gee, I forgot the name of the place where he's at, inside in the, mausoleum, whatever.
In Hartsdale, yeah.
We
where he
had
is in the mausoleum.
Ferncliff.
Ferncliff.
We had a contingent of Navy men come.
Well, that's what's going to happen. He needs his honor guard too.
And as
They're not scheduling yet.
yeah, it's a beautiful ceremony that they do.
I know.
Yeah, very, very good. Thank you so much, Caroline.
You're very welcome.
Yes,
Thank you for having me.
For another few minutes, we're going to go. That was like so great. I want to. Well, we need to. Where did oh, PJ's not on. All right. So, all right, Kelly. Talking about my parents and your
Okay,
father.
I would like to dedicate this song to everyone who's lost someone, especially my grandfather, who I sung this to at his funeral. I wrote a story about my grandfather, not really dead. He's not really dead. Our loved ones are still always with us. They're not gone. They're not dead. I like this version of the song. We all probably know the song, but this version, you probably maybe can't hear the version, but I'm going to sing it more like the singer sings it, more like the singer Elizabeth Mitchell. She sings "You Are My Sunshine" in a more beautiful. I think the song's beautiful, but she sings it in a different style, more of a folk style. And I want to try to copy her style.
I'd like to say that too. Kelly sang the song at the wake and at my father's funeral. And it was very helpful to all of us there.
When he died in his own house. And
Speak lower.
He died in his own house, and my father wasn't actually there. He was bringing the caretaker to the bus. And my father figured that he was going to die, but they had a great ending when he was in the hospital, like a couple of days before that. So he died with only the one caretaker and me and my grandmother in the other room. And when he died, the sun was actually shining from the window in his bedroom. And he always called me his sunshine because I have a lot of energy. And I was their only grandchild. And when I came in the house, I was filled with life. So and the sun was shining. So he called me his sunshine, and I call him my sunshine. So I'm going to sing My Sunshine to him and all you other people that have lost people this time of year. So here goes. It's coming up. Music is playing. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, just how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, while I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. Oh, when I woke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, just how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I'll always love you and never leave you. But I ask you to do the same. But if you should love another, I will always love one day. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. You won't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
Wow, beautiful, Kelly.
Thank you for listening, everyone. And God bless you all during these times.
Great, beautiful. That was great. Yeah, I can feel my father here right now. All right, so where's Peter go? Oh, Peter's on the other side now. All right, I think this is it. We got Sam. You put up another thing behind you that looks great. PJ, I see his background, but I don't see him.
He came up for a second.
And some of the other people who have already left, who maybe have missed Kelly singing that and missed some of the other people who left. I'm going to send out a recording of this to everyone.
Thank you.
Please share it. Like, I'll send it out, a link on email. It'll be on my website. And please share it so other people can see. And Peter and I are going to do a scene that I'm not off book, Peter, you know, and I'm going to unmute you. And you unmute? You're unmuted now, right? Can you say something?
Yeah, myself.
All right. I'm going to mute everyone else. And this is a short scene, a few minutes. And it's a little levity. And it's in the spirit of love and being self-expressed, but it's definitely not. I shouldn't say anything about it. Let's do the scene. This is a scene that a good friend of mine, Arda, wrote with me, and we've performed it very few places. And the scene is going to be in this play I wrote called Once a Boy. And so Peter, who I met, is a phenomenal actor, and I asked him, I met him in Las Vegas, and we've exchanged a lot of information and shared a lot of conversations about writing and stuff and acting. And so I asked him if he would do this scene with me, and we practiced it the other night. We recorded it, actually, the other night. It came out pretty good, I thought, but we're going to do it now. So, Kelly, can you video I don't know. See, I don't know how to put the two of us together.
We're right next to each other.
We're not next to each other. So I want you to get this whole thing. All right. So now, and I'm going to hold up the, there's a few actors watching. They're probably cringing that I'm actually going to have this up on, but does it look okay to people? Can you see me and see Peter? All right. The scene is about this. Samantha, you will probably especially appreciate this. May have happened to you. The scene is called Fran and Ange, my friend Angelo. And what happens is that this is set many, many years ago. And when I was younger, and I would secretly cross-dress as a woman. And I would, of course, do it when nobody was going to be coming and stuff. Sometimes I did get surprised by a family member or friend coming and embarrassed about it. And then what happens on this night is that my friend, who only knows me as a guy and a guy's guy, comes by. Right, Peter? Is that a setup? All right. And so he's knocking at my door. You have to imagine that he's knocking at my door and I'm not letting him in. Okay. We'll start the scene.
Frankie! 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 Is that here? What? Let's go pick up some chicks, some ladies, Frankie. You?
Yep. Yeah, it's me.
What's taking you so long? Are you a woman or something?
Angela, I'm sorry, I can't go. I can't go tonight. I can't go tonight.
What do you mean? You can't go? You and I are gonna go downtown to pick up some babes. I know you're married, but you can help me find a woman.
Well, you don't have to look too far.
Well, what?
You don't have to look too far.
You got a lady in there, Frankie?
Yeah, you can say that I got a lady inside.
Come on, stop busting my balls. Put your shirt and jeans on and let's go get going.
More like a skirt and heels.
What?
Look, Angelo, I can't come. I can't go. I can't go. I'm not feeling myself right now.
Frankie, if you come back here empty-handed tonight, you'll feel yourself all you want. Now let's get going.
Oh, I don't think I'll be helping you to pick up any girls tonight. No, Ange.
What's gotten into you, man? That's it. We got to take you to Tony's, straighten you out there. Ain't nothing a good braccioli can't fix.
A braccioli does sound good. I didn't know you were into sausage.
Let me see this. Me? I love Tony's braccioli. It's delicious, and that sauce, mama.
You mean Tony's on 14th Street, or you mean Tony at his house?
Frankie, I swear to God, I'm going to bust down your door right now if you don't open up.
Oh, but Angelo, if I open it up, you're going to freak out. Promise me you won't freak out when you see me.
I'm going to freak out if you don't open that door, Frankie.
All right. This is me.
What the? Frankie? Is that you in there?
Yes, it's me. Fran, not Frankie.
Frankie!
Fran.
Frankie!
Fran.
Frankie!
Fran.
Fran?
Yeah.
Fran? Fran? Really? How are we gonna pick up the babes tonight? Looking like this.
You don't know. You just never know.
Well, okay. Thanks, Mr. Hotshot.
Mrs. Hotshot.
Oh my God. Oh. All right. Fine. Really? Fine.
Hey, Ange, you're a good singer. Listen, I co-wrote a song with Lee Harrison. Maybe at the club we can get the band to do it. Maybe that'll attract the girls for you.
Whoa. Where'd that come from? Well, I guess I could sing with you.
Yeah, get a microphone, all right?
Sometimes.
Get a microphone. This is the refrain of the song. All right, you put the mic up to your lips. What happened? It muted.
No. Well, Frankie. I mean, Fran.
Ange, listen to the refrain. It's a blues song. It's got a driving.
Oh, you mean the mic?
It's like this. But I ain't giving up my Brujol. Oh no, I ain't giving up my Brujol.
I ain't giving up my Brujol. I ain't giving up my Brujol. So don't give up your Brujol.
I ain't giving it up. I ain't giving that baby up. Could come in handy someday. All right, Ange, let's go. Let's go to the bar. All right, anyway.
I loved Peter's expressions. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Peter's
the way
great.
he was making his faces and stuff. Oh, that was
All
good.
right, that
Peter.
was a little, I hope it wasn't vulgar. It was a little.
No, but he did a good job, Peter. He had a whole mannerisms.
Peter did a great job.
The whole mannerisms.
Very good. All right, did anyone enjoy it?
Yay!
Okay.
No script.
So thank you, Peter, for doing that. And we're
Thank you.
we're gonna close. Does anyone have any? I'm gonna unmute everyone. Anyone have any
Last
final
thoughts?
Maybe some.
I do.
Yes, Donna.
I do. I do want to wish the best for everyone in New Rochelle. I really feel for you all up there, and I'm really wishing everybody the best of health, and to please take all precaution you can, and we're all going to get through this. I was born in New Rochelle Hospital in December of 1960. So it really hits home. I feel like I'm related to those that have passed on already in New Rochelle, even though I may not even know them. I still feel like they're an extended family to me. So
just a postscript on that, Donna, is that New Rochelle, the containment zone, we're in the containment zone.
But it's better.
It's better. It's lifted. And a lot of the early steps that New York State governor took, Andrew Cuomo and Noam Bramson, the mayor, and Rich Latimer, the county executive, worked wonders because there was a lot of infection early on. We closed down, we locked down a lot of stuff. A lot of people got very sick. But so I want to thank you for
Wishing
Or-
us well here and everyone where you are.
And on top of it, I have to say, even us Italians, I mean, I feel awful for what's going on in Italy.
Yes.
So this is like twofold for us Italians and us New Yorkers and us New Rochelians. This is unconscionable. It really is. And I pray for all.
Thank you. That's
let's
one.
all get through this.
I'm gonna talking about family. I'm gonna be back in one. Just give me 10 seconds. I want to show. I want to show a photo of a family. Hold on a second.
Okay. You're gonna get it. Fran, I'll be right back. We're still here with the Crisis Help Show at little after 9. A young photo of our family.
This is a photo of how we used to eat dinner on Sunday. And there is,
Right? I remember that.
and then there's me and my brother, and you know I'm not going to go around the whole table, but here's your father.
Whoa!
Here's what? No, that's Uncle Dom, and that's Uncle Lou. Well, let's see where your father is here. Where your father's right there. You see your father, Dom?
Yes.
Wow.
And there's all our other relatives of Grandpa. So,
I love that.
And that we ate like that most Sundays. I don't know how we fit around that table, but wonderful families. Let's stay close to all. Anyone else want to say anything?
No, I just want to say bye.
All right, bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Stay strong. We'll get through this, and we'll become better for it. But we have to keep loving, keep connecting, and just keep being. We'll get through this.
Just keep being.
Nice meeting you all.
The
faith.
The light will continue to shine on
Keep
us.
the faith.
Okay.
Amen.
And shine it on.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Bye, Brandon. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for staying.
Bye, everyone.
Something here tomorrow.
Be safe.
Be safe.
Thank you.
All of you too. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. He has to leave first before I say.